And here are still some of the eggs that we're anticipating to hatch. These eggs are slightly behind in hatching time versus our other chicks and ducklings that have hatched already. And here are our khaki Campbell ducklings. And the khaki Campbells are great egg layers. And for the chicks, we have the Rhode Island Reds that we hatched. And the Rhode Island Reds the chicks are typically gold in color. And we bought just a few chicks from a feed store down the road. We bought these gold buff Orpingtons, and we bought heritage breed black Australorps. It's always a party when we come inside. Hey! Hey! Today, we are here at Blue Fig Farm. They are a beyond organic farm that specializes in fresh cut flowers and garden produce. Their long-term goals are to produce and sell blueberries and figs. Cindy Spickard is going to show us around her farm. So what do you have going on here with the chickens that you have here? It looks like you have a chicken tractor and a number of things, an A-frame tractor.
Okay, so these are our hens. And we have one rooster that we hatched this year, and that is Michael Strahan, and he's there in the middle. And we also hatched the little Rhode Island Red beside of him, and her name is Susanna. The rest of them are a mix of Easter eggers and barred rocks and some golden comets. We originally built this chicken tractor out of scraps we found laying around the farm, left over from stepdad's farming and probably some of it from his grandfather. It posed some problems because it's a little heavy to move. So we went on and found an old trailer and some other pieces and made what is our version of a chickshaw. And we pull it with our lawnmower around the farm.
So just like we all learn lessons in the different projects that we do and things that we do on the farm, I've learned a lot of lessons, and Cindy wants to share a lesson that she's learned from the chicken tractor that she first started working with.
This is our version of a chickshaw. When we first started building it, we took these trailer sides that were here at the house, left over by my family, and found some of this tin at my parents'. We originally had it to where this back end folded out, and just as things wear and tear naturally, one of the pins came loose and the board broke, and so right now we have it screwed tight. I took apart a piece of this metal off so they could come in and out, and then we can just screw it back on at night. Probably what we're going to do next is just have a little door that comes open and shut. You can see I got one nesting, our nesting boxes. All it is a little slides in. You have a little bit of hay and you can get your eggs out.
Did you get that concept from Justin Rhodes?
I did get this concept from Justin Rhodes. Mike and Lacey told me about him, and I started following Abundant Permaculture, and we started with what we had.
Here we go.
And moved forward.
So as any farmer would tell you, that is, when you're getting started, you're just being resourceful and using the things that are around you, and that is a key for not spending a ton of money and just learning to work with what you have.
But this is Gertie. She is our pet. She's a little over a year old. We decided about a year ago, after visiting the Mother Earth News Fair, that maybe we wanted to get into goats. So we bought 3 goats from a friend of ours, and we're down to 1 because goats are not really our thing, and she just hangs out with the chickens. Maybe one day we may get some more goats, but we'll see how that goes. So this is the original garden area. So we've used this for 4 years, and now it's time to expand. This year we'll have 100-foot rows throughout this section, several deep, as far as we can go that way, and we'll wrap around the back of the shop, and we're going to expand around there as well as to the other side where our chickens once were.
Great. So I was here last year, and you were just growing all kind of flowers in here, and
Right.
and different plants. Just kind of what do you plan to grow exactly?
We will have fig trees as well as some blueberry bushes on this side. This is henbit, and you can see the little honeybees. So while this is a weed, and it's annoying to have to remove the weed, it actually attracts all the honeybees.
And how can you said this is an edible plant? How can you use it?
You can use it just like you would kale. You can eat it just like kale, and it's called henbit.
Okay, and you can eat the flowers as well?
You can eat the flowers as well.
Let's get closer.
The henbit is kind of a nuisance to the larger farms. They have to fight it. But for us, on a smaller farm, we get to use it. It's beneficial. We get our bees, they get their early start for nectar, and it attracts them here for us. The other part is when we till this back into the soil, you're getting food for your next crop.
So these concepts that Cindy is just talking about here, these are actual permaculture principles in action. So this is a way to sustainably operate and run a farm. A lot of these large farms, they're doing monoculture in a way that is not working in a synergistic way with the rest of the environment around there. But here, letting this henbit grow is also beneficial to the bees and to the rest of the micro environment here.
Right. Our goal is to not use machinery or little as possible, let's say that. Right now we do need to till, but our goal is to not till anymore after this year and to only use a broad fork.
Cindy, do you have any plans for this large pasture area here?
We have a family that comes and mows it and bales it for us, and they do it about 2 to 3 times a year. He takes care of it and manages it, and we just let it grow. So his cattle are fed. The plan possibly this year, because in the fall our children will be learning about U.S. history. We do homeschool, so as the U.S. history goes into it, we'll learn more about slavery, and I'm thinking about planting cotton so that the kids can feel it, and get in here and see sort of, if we can even imagine, what slavery, what they would have grown in this area.
So they are a homeschooling family too, and we are as well, as you may have seen on some of our videos, and there's a plethora of things that kids can learn from having homeschooling and doing it on a homestead and on a farm.
The other part of growing the cotton is not just for the educational purposes. We can also sell it within the markets as dried or fresh. Cotton is the new thing, cotton and burlap. So let's just go with the market. The new garden will actually flow right through here. And we're going to expand with some more muscadines because they grow really well here. And a lot of people don't know what a muscadine is. Big, almost black grape. They freeze well, they can well, and they make wonderful jams and jellies. These will be ready somewhere into July, 1st of August. We'll start having muscadines. Last year I pulled about 35 pounds off this one bush or one vine. Big Pond Farm were a blessing to us because we were able to sell to their market and learn that a lot of people didn't know what a muscadine was. So we hope to expand on that and teach people. So this area, and you'll see back here, this was our first chicken coop. It doesn't have a floor to it and it's not movable. We learned not to use it as a chicken coop for very long, even though they like to live in there. But we did keep our chickens out here. This at one point was really rocky, and the soil wasn't great. And the chickens have came in here and cleaned it up. About a month and a half ago, our oldest son and I did a project, a little science experiment, to figure out what our soil was like. Was it acidic or was it alkaline? And our hypothesis was that this was going to be very acidic because the chickens had been in here for about a year and a half, but it wasn't. That means our soil was really poor. We brought it up to a neutral just by having chickens in here.
So I think they were dealing with the same problem that we were having on our farm. Where we have our market garden, it's on a slight slope, so a lot of the good organic matter and a lot of the nutrients were getting washed away. So we really needed to just amend the soil and build it back up with manure and just compost material, and that sounds like what they were having to deal with here. So now I'm going to use the excavator here to help them prepare some of those areas that they need the tree stumps removed so they can get their garden started. I know they're very anxious for it, and let's help them out. We have excavated all the stumps for them, and they are ready to expand their garden. Hey buddy, are you having fun? Hey!